26-foot KZ toy hauler coming in on trade here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And I'm not going to pull any punches here. She ain't perfect. It's not dead. And I've been wavering back and forth on the line. Do I call this a handyman special? I don't know that I'm to that point on it, but there's definitely some things on here of which you need to be made aware of. And we're going to hit those first. And after that, if you're still with us, we'll take a look at the good things that she still has so that you know we can represent it fairly and you can make a fair and educated decision here at Haylett RV. So first of all, a couple things right up front. The decals, especially on the driver's side, they're peeled, they're flaky, they're sunny. This RV has spent its last 3 years at a permanent site, so it just hasn't had a chance to like be stored indoors away from weather. Additionally, I noticed this corner jack is a little bit jihad. I guess it probably still technically works. It almost makes me think the RV shifted a little bit when the jack was down and it stressed it. You'll also notice just little like duct tape on the corners here. I think that's to try to help the corner trim molding that we're looking at right here from peeling back. I guess that was their solution with a question mark. And I've generated that conclusion by looking at the rear corner here where exactly that has happened. Now this doesn't just happen on its own, something must have caught it. It looks like the portion that would kind of be associated with the wall hasn't been exposed because this is just skirting down here. You know, if you look, you can actually see daylight through it. So there's no like wall structure behind it that's exposed. It just doesn't look good. Now keep in mind, all these little glitches and defects that I'm showing you here, guys, obviously, we take stuff like that into account when we apply the pricing to an RV. We are not at all asking the full suggested book value on this camper. We're trying to be fair. Once again, little corner trim jobs here acting a little bit wonky on us. And here's a better look at some of that flaky decal stuff that I was telling you about. I'd rather just be brutally honest with you so that you folks know exactly what you are getting into when you take a look at this camper here at Haylett RV. There's nothing worse than having a client come from like 3-4 hours away. They show up and the trailer's not what they expected. You know, they get upset with us. You know, we have to do nothing but apologize, and I would rather just go out of my way to tell you everything that is and isn't on the camper right up front. I hope you appreciate that. So if these things are disqualifying factors, definitely, I mean, we get it. Keep in mind, though, we've only got about 600 other campers here that could work for you. So, you know, just let us know kind of what works for you, what doesn't. Take a hop inside here and look at a couple more little fun features. Now this is a bit of a funny floor plan, and I'll give you a more wide angle view in just a minute here. But basically, long story short, the mattress is shot. The whole slip cover and everything is all torn apart. If I see if I can get you a good look at it over here. Yeah. I mean, you can see the foam inside of it. Just from people shifting so much, it split these little seams, and it happened over time. I will also make no bones about it. Camper needs cleaned. It needs cleaned bad. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? You guys don't clean your campers? Well, of course we can. But a lot of times when people are looking at a specific price point, you know, they have a certain budget in mind. And anything that we do to the RV, naturally, I have to compensate people for their time. That's reasonable and that's fair. The hang-up is those things start affecting the price tag. And, you know, that works against the budget that most people are looking for. So if you're willing to clean the camper for a weekend, save you some money. If you would rather we do it, give us a call. I'm sure we can work that out. I just want you to know what, you know, again, what the case is either way. Now, big deal. Up here, it looks like they had a seam failure along this sidewall up here, because I see a couple little spots. Like it's pretty solid now, but you can see how it's bowed and warped. That means that there's been water in here. And if you see all these nice little mold spots all the way down the wall here, again, I hope you appreciate the fact that I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I also noticed a little bit of water must have worked its way down this wall, and at a stress point here, the Luan paneling actually cracked also, and I can see where some of that trim was wet as well. So those are the really scary things. Those are the glitches, the defects, the imperfections that you folks want to and deserve to know about. We're also going to get up on the roof near the end of our tour. I like to wait till the end so I only have to climb up and down that ladder one time. Again, hope you appreciate the honesty. If you're still with us, then that means that, hey, buddy, for the right money, I will consider taking this home. Or I'm really curious to see what else you're going to say about this thing. So, long kitchen sofa slide over here, which is a classic ultralight slide styling because it can be a very short, shallow slide. The sofa can fold down to a little sleeper. The kitchenette is actually surprisingly deep. It just doesn't look it. What else was I going to add over here? A little appliance outlet there in the corner. Now, as we flip our way back around, we do have central air conditioning running through the ceiling. These two brown benches right there, that is your dinette. It can, well, of course, you can't really see it because the lighting from the ramp is messing us up. There we go. They fold up out of the way so that if you wanted to load like a couple dirt bikes, a couple quads or something like that, you could. And you can fit a quad between that wheel well and the kitchen slide when it closes, no problem. If you're looking for specific measurements, please give our team a call. We'll happily measure out anything that you need, but there's no way I can ever predict every single measurement. Like, anytime I've ever tried to take tons of measurements on a camper, I've always been missing something that somebody needs. The rear bed here, so interesting thing, you've got a private master front bed up front. This is like almost like a second bed or bunk. It just flips up and down like the sofa. So you could leave it up if you don't need it. You could flip it down if you wanted to. Also, easily missed is this handy little retractable screen that we got right here, so that if you want to be able to leave the door down and get some airflow, you can. Now, this is obviously, not a full width ramp because we have a bathroom next to us, but it is wide enough for a conventional four-wheeler, although I know that four-wheelers come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, so I don't know if the word conventional even applies. They did not do any more cabinetry than they had to in this bathroom. You see, you've just got that basic corner sink, a mirror kind of glued on the wall, but it is technically effective. It gets the job done. Simple and effective is really kind of what this brand does. Even when this is brand new, this is never not the biggest, fanciest, shiniest kind of camper out there. It was always made with a little bit of a simplicity and a budget, mindset applied to it. But there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody needs a Taj Mahal. Some people are looking for a Garage Mahal. Ooh, I like that one. I'm going to keep using that right there. Nerdism number 37, if you've been paying attention. So, there's a hole in the wall where the boys can see it all. The idea here being if you wanted to mount like a little flat screen or something, you could. Or I suppose you could put some kind of curtain or covering over that to maintain privacy. Door here into the master bed. This is built with the intention of a camp queen. Somebody swapped it out for a residential queen bed, but you can still walk around it just enough, at least. Other than that, I think the bedroom's pretty self-explanatory. Let's hop back outdoors and then on the roof. So we talked about decals and trim and stuff like that. The spare tire is mounted up here on the tongue since it doesn't have like a rear bumper. There's no place on a rear bumper to attach that to. There's also this kind of interesting elevated rack right here above your battery. That is intended for things like if you want to put, a cargo box or portable generator or something like that, although the RV does appear to be generator ready with this handy little housing over there. There's no underbelly treatment, there's no weather package or anything like that on this. Considering the RV has just sat for the last 3 years, if you do plan on towing it, it's probably recommended that you update the tires, just because in my experience when RVs set in one place, they tend to, get odd shapes and flat spots about them, and they tend to have goofy, uneven, riding and handling patterns. So, nice thing though is that transition ramp on the back right there. That makes it easy to get from the ground to the ramp to climb up to this thing. Now, the trailer is not level currently. Right now, the nose is down quite a bit, which means the tail is artificially high. So normally your loading angle of attack is not going to be this severe. And I've got a little tip from your Uncle Josh. If you want even easier loading, crank the tongue jack up as high as you can, and it will squat the back of the trailer behind those axles and make for a smoother, easier loading angle. And by the way, this table obviously can come outdoors, but this is intended to be like your dining table. Although, like several other aspects on the camper, it looks like at some point it got a little jerked around, and they have it kind of just taped in the up position. Not the end of the world, but whatever. That's definitely not the worst thing we've seen so far today, am I right? All right, up top here. First thing I wanted to do when I got up here, I want us to take a walk over here right above the slide out on the roof, because like I said, I think there'd been some water intrusion there, but unless it was from that gutter rail, like if the screws must have let some water wick through, everything that I'm walking on right now, I mean, it feels solid. Obviously, I'm walking right against the edge here. I don't really feel any spongy, swelly OSB below my feet, which is what we're walking on right now. I do also see where over time, I don't like the look of that. Apparently tape was their solution method to keep water off the seal or the screws there. I would recommend removing that tape and putting some self-leveling sealant down, but that's just me. Actually, oh, I'm seeing what happened here. It looks like at some point somebody put maybe a coating on the roof, because if you look at this, that is not the original color of the seals around that skylight. So someone must have got like a can of that RV roof coating material and spread it around pretty thin up here, because it is not caked on. You know, there's good and there's bad up here. Overall, I don't see any real problems with seals or anything. Camper needs cleaned, and it needs somebody who can do some screwdriver fixes. And if you are capable of those things and you just want a good couple fun weekends out, you're going to have a heck of a good deal here. If you're looking for something that is perfectly fresh and pristine straight out of the box, maybe this isn't the camper for you, but as you can see, we've definitely got something else that will work here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. So give us a call. Chances are we got it all here. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.